verses 35. John 4, verses 35. The title for this morning is Heads Up. It's harvest time. Look at your neighbor and say, heads up. It's harvest time. Look at your other neighbor and say, heads up. It's harvest time. Hallelujah. John 4, beginning in verses 35, I'll be reading from the New King James Version. And the word reads, do you not say, there are still 4 months, and then comes the harvest? Behold, I say to you, lift up your eyes and look at the fields, for they are already white for harvest. And he who reaps receives wages, and gathers fruit for eternal life, that both he who sows and he who reaps may rejoice together. For in this the saying is true. One sows and another reaps. I sent you to reap that for which you have not labored. Others have labored, and you have entered into their labors. Amen. You may be seated. Heads up. It's harvest time. And some of the hardest and most difficult times in our lives, we can often find ourselves and as well as others with their heads down, with our heads down and our eyes down in defeat. In some of the most frustrating times in our life, in the losses, in the difficulties, in the things we struggle with, we can oftentimes find our heads down, walking in defeat, walking in frustration, walking in stress. God, why am I in this mess? God, why am I going through this? God, why am I in this place again? God, why me? God, why? But God sent me here this morning to tell you to put your head up and you look to the hills from where your strength is coming, because you are missing the harvest. It's harvest time. You feel overwhelmed. You feel stressed. You feel confused. You feel lost. And this frustration is from the enemy. It is causing you to walk in defeat. It's the biggest trick of the enemy. See, because as we continue to walk with our heads down, as we continue to walk with our eyes to the ground, we cannot see what's going on around us. We can't see the harvest of souls that need to be saved. We can't see the work that needs to be done. And all we are focusing on is what we are dealing with, what we are going through, and not focusing on how we can help that sister, how we can help that brother, how we can help that stranger, how we can help that loved one, because all we are doing is focusing on what we are going through. Amen. See, it's the trick of the enemy. Why is it the trick of the enemy? Because if everyone on the face of this earth, if everyone on this planet is only focusing on their self, then nobody is helping each other. No one is helping the other, because everyone is worried about me, and my, me, and my. But how can you be a service to the kingdom? How can you help the kingdom? How can you help someone else if all you're doing is focus on yourself? Heads up. It's harvest time. Look at verse 35 of John chapter 4. Keep your Bibles open. John 4 and verse 35 says, behold, I say to you, lift up your eyes and look at the fields, for they are already white for harvest. It says, lift up your eyes and look at the fields. Lift up your eyes and look at the fields, for they are already white for harvest. Harvest means period. It means it's ripe. is the perfect time for picking. I was reading an article as I was preparing for this message on harvesttothetable.com, and it says, timing is everything. Whenever you're planning, amen, timing is everything. When you plant, timing is everything. When you labor, time is everything. When you pick, timing is everything. It says, how do you know when it's time to harvest your crops? On this website, it says, here are a few indicators. It says color. Many vegetables turn colors as they ripen. Tomatoes and peppers are examples. Check the seed packet and look at the description for each crop listed here. It says they have to have a sheen color, shiny. Vegetables ready for picking commonly have a shiny, healthy look. The size. What is this telling you? It says in order to make sure you're picking your crop at the right time, you have to first look at the color and examine the color. The color has to be right. It says you also have to look at the sheen. It has to have a shiny gloss. Amen? And it says lastly, you have to look at the size of the crop. What am I telling you? How are you going to see the color? How are you going to see the sheen? How are you going to see the size if you're walking with your head down in defeat? I'm not talking about picking a vegetable. I'm not talking about picking a fruit. I'm talking about the soul that God has intended for you to save. I'm talking about the person that He wants you to encourage. I'm talking about the person that He has called you to labor to. How can you see Him if you're walking in defeat? How can you see Him if you're walking with your head down? So you can't even do what God has called you to do because all you are doing is walking with your head down, heads up. May I ask you a question? See, this article tells us that you have to recognize the color of the crop, the appearance and the size. So what is it telling us? If we are not keeping our eyes on the crop, we would never know when the time is right for us to do what we must do. We would never know the time for us to do what it is that God has called us to do if we are not walking with our heads up. What is the crop? The crop is that brother. That brother who is lost, that sister, that friend, that church member that was coming, but they ain't no longer coming anymore. That's the crop. What is the crop? That homeless person on the street who doesn't feel like they don't have a reason to live. They don't have hope. They don't have joy. That's the crop. What is the crop? The crop is the mother who feels like life is no longer worth living. Her marriage is a mess. Her financial situation is a mess. Spiritually, she's a wreck and she feels like there's no reason to live. That's the crop that I'm referencing. Well, what is the crop? That crop is that co-worker who is living contrary to the word of God, who is lost, amen. And the world says you shouldn't share your gospel, you shouldn't share your spirituality at work. That's the crop, amen. Are you going to do what you need to do when it's time, amen? The time is now, the season is now, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. This message is right for us right now. This message is right for us right now in the kingdom. When I came to church last Sunday, I might offend some. Nobody really wanted to go last week. They go serve. Nobody really wanted to go. I'm gonna be real. I always want to go. But my crew, they didn't want to ride. And I sensed it in the atmosphere. And God was like, Marcus, if nobody wants to go, you, your wife, your kids, y'all gonna go. Because work needs to be done. And if you're the only one that want to do it. Because the work is plentiful, amen. This right here, this is all good. because the spirit was real heavy. But as we got out there and we began to serve, again, the devil attempted to discourage me. We couldn't even find a place to set up last week. Marcus, you know what? We should do what everybody says. Let's just go take the food and just drop it off. But I continued to drive and continued to drive, and we finally found a location. Amen. And then we turned the music on and we began to praise God. Thank you for that playlist, First Lady. We began to praise God and worship God. And guess what? We began to set the atmosphere. And as we begin to serve, amen, as we begin to labor, amen, the harvest begins to come, amen. And guess what? Souls were saved. Guess what? Lives were changed. Guess what? Testimonies were heard, amen. One of my favorite sisters that I don't really see her as much now because she's no longer homeless, amen. But she still comes down periodically down there just to check on people. And she was there this past week, and many maybe remember her a couple months ago. She pulled up on us and she said, Marcus, she said, your prayers worked. She says, I'm no longer homeless. I now have a place to stay. She says, I'm no longer vehicleless. I now have a vehicle. I'm no longer jobless. I have a job. So this time when I see her, she tells me, she says, Marcus, your prayers are still working. She says, Marcus, my car that God blessed me with, it broke down. And when my vehicle broke down, I lost my job. But guess what? God blessed me to fix my car. And then when he blessed me to fix my car, he blessed me with another job. Amen. So what am I telling you? She was going through difficulties. She was going through hard times. But it didn't cause her to walk with her head down in defeat. Because guess what? She knew who her father was. Know who your daddy is. Amen. He's bigger than your problem. He's bigger than your issue. He's bigger than what you're going through. He's bigger than what you're facing. He's bigger than 2019. He's bigger than 2020. It's harvest time. So heads up. No longer will we walk in defeat. No longer will we walk as quitters. Heads up. No matter how hard it gets. Heads up. No matter how weak you get. No matter how tired you get. Heads up. No matter how frustrated you get. Heads up. No matter how difficult it gets. Hands up. No matter how hard it gets. Hands up. Because it's harvest time. See, what's taking place is our heads are not up, and many of us are missing our window of opportunity. See, I wasn't going to allow the enemy to miss my opportunity last week. I take pride in my post. I take pride in my service for the kingdom. So no matter what was going on around me, no matter what was being said around me, I was focused on the harvest. I had my eyes on a prize. I had my eyes on a kingdom. Amen. But see, many of us are not that focused. We allow what's going on around us to transform us. We allow what's going on around us to transform us. See, but the God that I serve, he wants us to be thermometers, amen? I'm sorry, thermostats, amen?
Yes, God.
And not thermometers.
Yes,
he wants us to change the environment that we have been placed in. He don't want us to be changed by the environment that we have placed in, but us to change the environment that he's placed us in.
Yes.
How many of you are being changed by the environment that you're placed in? And if you are being changed, I praise for the better, amen? See, why is it so important that we not miss the window of opportunity? Look at verse number 36 of John 4. Verse 36 of John 4. And he who reaps receives wages and gathers fruit for eternal life, that both he who sows and he who reaps may rejoice together. Read it again. He who reaps receives wages and gathers fruit for eternal life, that both he who sows and he who reaps may rejoice together. See, our roles and part in this process can be the determining factor in the eternal resting place of someone's soul.
Right.
Our obedience, our moving swiftly when God says move, can be the determining factor in someone's soul.
Yes.
Our moving swiftly when God speaks can be the determining factor in someone's soul.
Yes, Lord.
Someone out there saying to themselves, you're taking things too far. My influence is not that important. But myself is not that important. What I say or do in someone else's life is not that important. The choice is theirs. But guess what? Somebody chose to pour into you when you felt like you didn't have any reason to go forward. Somebody poured into you and labored over you when you felt hopeless. Somebody poured into you and labored over you when you felt like you didn't have a reason to live and go on and go forward. So who are you to say your influence doesn't mean anything? Who are you to say that you, the word that you have, the gift that you have, the prayer that you have, the anointing that you have doesn't mean anything? If it didn't, God wouldn't even give it to you. So use it swiftly. When the Lord speaks, be obedient. That's what many of us feel. Our lack of obedience. Our lack of moving swiftly. I'm reminded when Jesus was praying right before he was handed over to the betrayers, he told the disciples, stand with me and pray. It's getting hard. This thing I'm about to face right now, I'm paraphrasing, this thing that I'm about to face right now, this difficulty that I'm about to go against, it's difficult. Stand with me and pray. So it says as he departed from them just a distance, he went and prayed, Father, if it's your will, take this cup from me. When he returned back to his disciples, he found them sleeping. He goes back, what are you doing? I need you to stand with me right now because right now I'm Jesus, but I need help. I need some support. I need somebody to stand with me. I've been standing with you for a long time. I've been riding with you in some of your difficult moments, but right now I need you. So if Jesus needs somebody to stand with him, what makes you think the person on the side, you don't need nobody to stand with them? What makes you think the person on your other side don't need anybody to stand with them? We all need somebody. Jesus needed somebody. See, many, like I said, don't think their influence is necessary. How many of you remember as a child playing racing games with cars? Or as an adult, many of you probably still play games. Well, in these driving games, Need for Speed, these different games, when you drove these vehicles, you had certain time limits to get to a certain checkpoint. And if you didn't get to that checkpoint in the right amount of time, the game was over. It was essential that you got to that place in a timely manner. Because if you didn't, the game ended for you. But how does it apply? What are you talking about? Bring it together. Break it down for me. What am I telling you? You were somebody's checkpoint. You were somebody's checkpoint. They have gotten to you, but if you don't do what you were supposed to do, they can't get to the next level. So I'm telling you, you got a gift, you got an anointing, you got a talent, but you're walking with your head down. People in front of you, people around you, people need what you got, but you ain't giving them what they need. So you're feeling to get to the next point, and you think your influence don't mean anything. But they right now at your checkpoint. They right now in your face, they're in your home, they're in your family, they're in your church, they're in your surroundings, they're in your job. They are at your checkpoint, but the question is, are you going to put your hand up and begin to help them get to the next part of the harvest process? But in order to help them get through, you have to know your role. You have to know your role. You have to know your part in their life. And you may be a sower. You may be a laborer. You may be the reaper. But But it's so important, it's so essential that you know what your role is in that person's life. How many of you have ever played on any type of sports team growing up? I love sports, and especially team sports. I remember growing up, and I played football for Everman. It was me and one of my best friends in high school, Tim Jackson, and no matter what we had going on outside the field, on Friday night, we came together. But not just me and him, but the whole team came together. But I was reminded of one football game, and we were down. We were down our opponent's house. And it looked as if we were going to lose on our home field. And one play I remember, it was so unorthodox. They called the play and they stopped us. They stopped us. But instead of getting tackled, he threw the ball back to me in the backfield. And I took the play 80 or 90 yards and scored a touchdown. But that gave us the momentum to take over the game and eventually win the game. Because we had a connection. We knew each other very well in that field. So it gave us a connection. So what am I telling you? In team sports, it's so, the most successful teams have a great relationship. They have a bond. They have a connection. So what am I telling you in the kingdom? Your role is important, amen? She needs you and you need her. So don't think you don't need her and she don't need you. What am I telling you? She needs you, Bianca and Soraya. She needs you. What am I telling you? Valencia, she needs you and you need her. Iron sharpens iron, amen? Iron sharpens iron, amen? So what am I telling you? You are the checkpoint that's going to help that sister behind you get to that next level. Your testimony about marriage is going to help somebody else get to the next level. Your testimony about being real, letting somebody know that we have struggles and difficulties, is going to help somebody get to the next level. See, but we come to church and we separate. We come to church and see each other on Sunday, but we don't hear from one another during the week. And then when we begin to fall off, ain't nobody checking on nobody. But see, we were connected. If we were a true team for the kingdom of God, we would let nobody fall short like that. We would let nobody fall away like that. But everybody is walking with their head down. Me, my. Heads up. Because it's harvest time. So important that you know your role. The sower. See, certain times and seasons we may find ourselves in the role or the position of a sower. What is a sower? A sower is a person who plants that seed, amen? You may be the individual who is planting the seed of salvation in somebody's life. You may plant the seed, and they may not change completely right then. But what did you do? You just planted the seed. See, but you can't get confused with being the sower, the laborer, or the reaper. What is the laborer? Well, you planted the seed, Valencia. Terry, you're going to be the laborer. So sometimes throughout her planting the seed, you're going to labor. What is laboring? You're going to encourage. You're going to call. You're going to text. You're going to pray. You're going to do it. You're going to take them out. You're going to stand with them. You're going to be that spiritual checkpoint that they need. You're going to give them some praise and worship. You're going to give them some encouragement, amen. What are you doing? You're laboring, amen. You're going to check them and be on. What are you doing? You're laboring, amen. You're going to call them and see how they doing. What are you doing? You're laboring, amen. See, but you can't get confused with being the sower, the laborer, or the reaper, amen. Why is it so important? Because if you get your role confused in someone's life, you're going to get overwhelmed, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get stressed out, and you're going to feel like, you know what, they ain't getting the point, amen. They ain't getting the point. I done introduced them to Jesus, I done showed them salvation, amen. But they ain't hearing me, amen, because they still ain't changing, amen. Well, guess what? You may just be the sower, amen, but you can't play the role of the laborer, amen. And you are the laborer, amen. But just because you're a laborer don't mean you will see the reap, amen. See the harvest. See, but what's taking place is, many of us have got our roles confused, and we have given up on people, amen, because we ain't seeing them transition like we want to transition. We ain't seeing them transition when we want them to transition, amen. But you got to know your role and play your role well, amen. See, the enemy wants us to give up on people. roles in other people's lives. Because we get confused, we get frustrated, we get overwhelmed, we give up on people. That's a trick of the enemy, to give up on someone. Just because they ain't doing what we want them to do when we want them to do. Well, guess what? You ain't the one to give the increase. God is, amen? You ain't the one to give the increase, amen? You didn't create the issue. Some of us may have created the issue, amen, but you may not be the solution to fixing the issue, amen? The total solution, I'm sorry. Because each of us have a role, and each of those roles are important. And look at verse 37 in John 4. It says, for in this saying is true, one sows and another reaps. For in this saying another sows, one sows and another reaps. But that is not your role or position. You will only, like I say, get tired, frustrate yourself because it's not your place or job. So you may plant the basic seeds of salvation. Many others may come after you in labor, giving them hope, strength, guidance, and tough moments of life. We just have to understand that no role or position is greater than the other. Each roll up into the reaper is needed to get the crop to that place of being able to be harvested. What is the crop? Their soul. If they fail or miss the window, the crop potentially fails. So what am I telling you? How many loved ones have passed in your life? How many friends have passed in your life and you became sad because you're like, you know what? I had a word for them. I could have encouraged them. I could have prayed for them. I could have ministered to them. I could have introduced them to salvation. You missed that window. So it's important right now. Learn from your mistakes, amen, and stop missing your window of opportunity. Put your heads up, amen. Stop missing the harvest. Turn with me to 2 Kings chapter 2. 2 Kings chapter 2. Whenever you have it, please say amen. 2 Kings chapter 2. I hope y'all get some this morning, amen. So heads up. 2 Kings chapter 2. Whenever you have it, please say amen. It says, when the Lord was about to take Elijah up to heaven in a whirlwind, Elijah and Elisha were on their way to Gilgal. Elijah said to Elisha, stay here. The Lord has sent me to Bethel. But Elijah said, as surely as the Lord lives and as you live, I will not leave you. So they went down to Bethel. Then Elijah, look at verse 4, it says, then Elijah said to him, stay here, Elisha. The Lord has sent me to Jericho. And he replied, as surely as the Lord lives and as you live, I will not leave you. So they went to Jericho. Look at verse 6. Then Elijah said to him, stay here. The Lord has sent me to Jordan. And he replied, as surely as the Lord lives and as you live, I will not leave you. So the two of them walked on. Now look at verse 9. It says, when they had crossed, Elijah said to Elijah, tell me, what can I do for you before I'm taken from you? It says, let me inherit a double portion of your spirit. Elisha replied, you have asked a difficult thing, Elijah said. Yet if you see me when I am taken from you, it will be yours. Otherwise it will not. As they were walking along and talking together, suddenly a chariot of fire and horses appeared and separated the two of them. Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind. Elijah saw this and cried, my father, the chariots and horsemen of Israel. And Elisha saw him no more. Then he took hold of his garment and tore it into two. Key verse right here, 13. Elisha then picked up Elijah's cloak that had fallen from him and went back and stood on the bank of the Jordan. He took the cloak that had fallen from Elijah and struck the water with it. Where now is the Lord, the God of Elijah? He asked. He's frustrated, amen? He's angry. His father figure, amen? The person who planted the seed inside of him, the person who has been laboring him for years, preparing him for his destiny, amen, preparing him from his calling. Now that man, that father figure, amen, that brother, amen, has been taken from him. He's angry. He's frustrated, amen. So he begins to hit the water with his cloak. The water separates. I skipped over a verse in the beginning, but Elijah did the same exact thing before he was taken up into heaven. So now Elisha does it. So guess what he got? He got the double portion, amen? He got the double portion that he was asking for. And he says, where now is the Lord, the God of Elijah, he asked. When he struck the water and divided to the right and to the left, he crossed over. What is this telling us? We all have a role, but God has the power and the authority and the ability to give the increase. Amen? So am I telling you, you do your role as a sower. You do your role as the laborer. Amen? You do your role as the laborer. Amen? Whatever your role is, do it. Don't come frustrated if people ain't changing when you want them to change, but do what you're supposed to do. And in due season and in due time, the increase will come when God wants it to. The increase will come when God wants it to. Not when you want to, but when God wants it to. See, because as much as you pour into somebody, as much as you attempt to encourage somebody, guess what? Their heart has to soften, amen? They have to want to get connected to God. I spoke a message last week on Sunday. I said, as growing up as a child, when we had doing the homeless, growing up as a child, I went to church and I served because my parents made me to. They said, me and my house, we will serve the Lord. But I was serving, I got baptized because my parents made me, amen? I did work for the kingdom because my parents made me, amen? But there came a point in a time when I was no longer in the control, under the roof of my parents. There came a time when I faced my own difficulties, when I faced my own trials and tribulations. And there came a time, amen, like I said, when I called my mama, her words, her comfort would not give me peace. There came a time when nothing daddy could say was going to help me out. There came a time when no one could help me out but God. So no matter how good you sow, no matter how good you labor, it comes a time where that person has to be broken down. It comes a time where they got to cry themselves to sleep. There comes a time where they say, God, I need you. God, I can't do it no more. God, I want my mama think. I won't think by myself. God, I want you. Because I've had enough. Brother Elisha. See, this is so powerful. See, even though he was being led by a spiritual man, by an anointed man, amen, he was going through that man. But guess what? Sometimes God has to take people away from us for us to get to him with nothing in between. Let me say that again. Sometimes God is going to have to remove people, remove things, and remove places because they separate us from him. See, even though he was serving and following in a great man, God said, I have greater works for you. I want you to go higher, amen. He wanted us to go higher, but he wasn't going to get higher until somebody was moved out of the way. Well, guess what? When he was moved out of the way, he got what he asked for, that double anointing. Amen. Look at 1 Corinthians. Well, you don't have to look at it. I'm going to read it for you. It says 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verses 6. It says, I have planted Apollos' water, but God gave the increase. I have planted Apollos' water, but God gave the increase. I have planted, Apollos have watered, but God gave the increase. Stop trying to change people. Stop trying to make people move with your speed. Because you are not God. They are not you. So what seems easy to you and easy for you to overcome and get through may not be as easy for them. And what is easy for them may not be easy for you. So stop looking down, amen. Stop giving up. Stop throwing in a towel on someone, amen. And put your head up and continue to labor. Continue to sow. And watch how we begin to reap for the kingdom. When we put our hands up. It's not about you, amen. Say, God. Say, God. It's not about me. Say, God. It's not about me. But the kingdom. Look at John 4, verse 38. John 4, verse 38. And it says, I sent you to reap for what you have not labored. Others have labored, and you have entered into their labors. I sent you to reap that for which you have not labored. Others have labored, and you have entered into their labors. So what am I saying? You're going to pour into people, amen. You may pour into your children your entire life, amen. And they may never get it the way you want them to get it, amen. There's going to come a time, amen, with a word, amen, that another person gives them, amen. It's going to get through. And you begin to think to yourself, I've been telling them this for so long, amen. It just may not be you that's going to bring about the increase. And if you are the person who is bringing about, God is using to bring about the increase, don't walk around with a chip on your shoulder, amen. Because there were so many before you who've been laboring, amen. There were so many before you who have been praying, amen. There were so many before you who have been fasting, amen. There were so many before you who have been dedicating time and energy and effort to that individual, amen. So don't think that you're special, amen, because you seeing it, amen. You are blessed because you are able to see it, amen. Because there are people who died without seeing what they had prayed for, amen. There are people who were lost, amen, who didn't get to see what they had prayed for, amen, and fasted for. So I'm telling you, be encouraged and stay humble. God may use you to reap the harvest, but don't think for 1 second that it was you by yourself. Ephesians 4:12 say, be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, amen. Be patient. Be patient, amen. Because it may not come in your season. It may not come in your time. But continue to sow. Continue to labor. Continue to pray. Continue to fast. Continue to encourage, amen. Yeah. In closing, amen. Psalms 112 says, look to the hills. I look to the hills where my strength comes. Amen. And one of the hardest moments of my life, I remember finding myself, I was in prison. Amen. For a short period. Never been to jail before in my life, but now I'm in prison. Amen. Oh, something so crazy. Shouldn't even been there. And I was at a checkpoint. Amen. I wanted to kill myself. Being transparent. I wanted to die. Because I was in a place I had no control. I was in a place where I just felt so low. I didn't feel like there was no reason to go on. And lo and behold, God placed me in front of a brother named Solomon while I was in jail. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go in here and fight for my life. In a cell block with over 100 different men. I'm thinking I'm going to have to see face what I see in the movies and on television, amen? But I go through in there and it was probably one of the most spiritual experiences I've ever experienced in my life. And a brother by the name of Solomon came to me. I wanted to give up on life. But he looked at me in my eyes and said, Marcus, you got a purpose for your life. So I've been seeing you while you're in here. And he says you've been walking with your head down in the feet. He says, well, pick your head up, young brother. He says you walk with your head up and your chest out. No matter what you're facing, look into the He was in a worse place than me. He didn't even get out before me. But still, in the midst of what he was going through, in the midst of what he was facing, he still found time to encourage me and give little old Marcus. Felt like I was a man, but I wasn't yet. Hope. I want to be here right now in December 2019. If there wasn't for people like Solomon, never seen him again, don't know where he is. But brothers like Solomon, people who took me in their homes, strangers who took me in their homes when I lost my home, people who gave me vehicles to drive, who didn't really know me, they saw something in me, who gave me a reason to live. So what I'm telling you, right now we are all going through something. We are all facing something. But put your head up to the hills and encourage. Because the harvest is coming. If you need some strength this morning, come down to this altar.